What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel for a brand new series where we are calling it Win and Spin. Now, I see this sort of thing on TikTok all the time, you know, adding a player to X team until they win whatever. I thought I'd try and do something very similar in Football Manager using the in-game editor. The concept of the save: we take the team that is predicted to finish bottom of the division, we play through the entire season. However, each time we come up against a team and we beat them, I get to spin the wheel, which I've created, I'll show you in a second, and we can take one of the players from their starting 11. So let's give you an example. Let's say we're taking on Liverpool. We beat them somehow. We spin the wheel, we get the goal, it lands on goalkeeper. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 then becomes my goalkeeper. That's kind of the premise of it. We wanted to take the bottom team in each division at least and see how we can get on with them. So today we are starting things off with Norwich. Obviously, taking on teams in the Premier League is not going to be any mean feat, but we could end up with a very good starting 11 come the end of the season. I also wanted to see if bringing in these players, a fresh one each game, would really help every time we win. So without any further ado, guys, we are about to start the Premier League season. And as you can see here, it's changed a little bit since I've come in and updated the staff. Norwich pre-season are expected to finish bottom. We are still 1,000 to 1 to win the Premier League. So just for your reference and just to let you know what I've done, I've come in and I've sort of appointed my own staff. Again, we're not, I'm only worried about the coaching staff really, and not really worried about recruitment team, because hopefully we'll just be signing players for free from our opponents. So I've sorted out the coaching staff as best I can for the level. I've gone in and I've plugged in my my training schedules again. You know, you guys can find these if you want. But we are ready to start the Premier League season. I've chucked in a lot of games in pre-season just to get the tactical familiarity there. We're just playing a 4-2-3-1. But this is how we start the save, guys. And I will say, cup games do count as well. Friendly games don't count. So just because we beat 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 in pre-season doesn't mean I can take one of their starting 11. I only want it to be competitive games. So for instance, even this one against Bolton, we win this game against Bolton, we can bring in a brand new player from Bolton. Whether or not they will make a difference to the team, that is a completely different matter. And we will be doing the same moving further down. Obviously, this run here in September where we've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, getting a couple of wins out of those three games could well be massive. So then, guys, this is the wheel. So as you can see, I've labeled it up so that we've got, you know, left back, left wing back, right wing back, centre back, goalkeeper, striker, any of the attacking players on the left hand side, any of the attacking players on the right hand side, and then any of the players through the middle. So once we win a game, we go head over to the wheel, we click to spin the wheel, and then ultimately we would end up in this instance with a right back or right wing back, which for me personally is not very good, because ultimately we would be using Max Aarons in this position, and we could in theory end up with an entire team of goalkeepers by the end of this, and I somehow have to try and win games with that. So it should be very interesting. Should be interesting to see what happens. Let's move that back across and let's start the Premier League season. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to instant result these games. I'm not going to sit here and play them, but all the ones we win, I will show you the results. You don't want to see the goals in the games that we lose. You obviously only want to see the interactions with the players that we get and the games that we win. So I will only show you after each victory throughout the course of the season, and then ultimately by the end of the year I want to see if we can potentially win the Premier League, or you know, just how high up the Premier League we can finish. So without any further ado, guys, I'll be back after we've got our first victory. Okay, guys, so we have simulated first game of the season with the instant result button of this skin, and as you can see, this is the result that we've come back with. A very comprehensive 4-0 victory at home against Brighton. Now, obviously, I've put a tactic in here to do the job, and do the job it has done. 21 shots, 8 on target, 2.64 XG, 10 corners, absolutely dominating there. Todd Cantwell getting in on the score sheet as well. But that does mean we can view the highlights, and it also does mean we get to take a player away from Brighton. So not only in this series are we getting better ourselves, we're also making our opposition worse. I'm trying to load this one up here. It's just generating the match report so that you guys can see the goals against Brighton. It looks like it was relatively comprehensive. Is the first one coming from their kickoff? Surely not. Surely not. Let's bump this forward. View highlights just to view the goals. There we go. Now we've got the settings up. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 into Todd Cantwell. Down that side, back to 𝘼𝙗𝙤. And that's a nice, comfortable finish. Just 2 minutes into the game. A corner goal then, potentially. Near post OP. 𝘼𝙗𝙤 in on that one. Another cross, potentially. Brandon Williams into 𝘼𝙗𝙤. Back to the edge of the inside the area. Norman's there, and that's 3-0. Inside the first half as well. Is it going to be another cross? Max Aarons into Norman, into the penalty area, and Todd Cantwell's there, and that is the 4th goal of the game. And as you can see, very, very dominant there. But who, ultimately now, do we take from Brighton? So let's expand this one, and we can take a look at their team. So this is the Brighton lineup, as you can see it here. So they've got 3 centre-backs, full-backs on either side, goalkeeper, and then whatever this is. So ideally, right, for me, in this instance, I would probably like to take either of the fullbacks, 𝘼𝙗𝙪 or Bissouma. To be honest, I don't think I'd want any of the others. So let's bring the wheel back onto the screen. Let's pop it full screen so that you can see everything. So we get to spin the wheel and we get to take one of their players. So let's spin the wheel and see who we do come out with. As I said, I want one of the fullbacks. Now, they didn't actually play a left midfielder, left winger, or a left forward. So basically, I'm going to have to spin that again. So if they don't have a player in that position, guys, obviously I have to spin again. If they come up with a player, come on, game. They didn't play a right midfielder, a right winger, or a right forward either. Let's try this again, shall we? 3rd time's a charm. Just trying to take a player from Brighton, game. Come on. Okay, here we go. Left back, left wing back. This is perfect. We needed an improvement in that position. I didn't want Max Aarons to be replaced, so we can go and take their left back or their left wing back, which once I move this across here, you can see is this man here. Now, we know he can get very, very good in FM. He's a 4-star player, a wing back and a full back, a complete wing back and a no-nonsense whatever. He's recently just signed for Brighton, hasn't he? 15.5 million. Well, he's played 1 game for Brighton, and now because of losing, he now becomes my player. So move him to my club. I'm not going to do any fees or anything. I just want to move him. So move him across. And Big Mark is now a Norwich City player. So basically what you're going to see, guys, is as we go through, this squad will get better and better. So now we've done that, obviously I'm going to need to register him for the next game, but you can kind of see how this is going, guys. So who do we have up next? We're going to move forward. I'll see you after the Wolves game. Okay then, guys, we are back for game week number 2 of the Premier League season. We are about to take on Wolves away from home at Molineux. We're just going to go into the tactical meeting, the team selection, just so that you can kind of see again as what I'm doing. The team relatively stays the same, but Big Mark comes in at left back with that breathtaking hair. And as you can see now, this is the way I want things to run. Obviously, I'm absolutely dead set on Max Aarons. I'm happy with the fullbacks now. If we win games, we need to start taking players from other positions. So as you can see, I'm instant result in the game. We're just going to get into it and see how we get on against Wolves. Obviously, after the first game of the Premier League season, the 4-0 against Brighton, we actually went to the top of the league and we absolutely annihilate Wolves. So we get to take our player from Wolves as well, 6-1. You know what, guys? Do I even show you all the goals? I think I probably should, so you can see how well the team's actually playing. Let's just change this back to the goals again and hit that play button. As you can see, though, dominant first start to the Premier League season. This is what I wanted. Dynamic is so important. Getting a good start and taking good players from people would be absolutely massive. Let's change this up a little bit so you can see things a little bit quicker. Timo Pukki getting in there, goalkeeper making a little bit of a mistake. Now, what I will say is if we do sign somebody from one of these teams as part of the spin to win, spin and win, then we don't necessarily have to play them. So for instance, if we get a fullback again here and they don't necessarily make it into the squad, I don't have to play them, but they are there for our disposal should we really want them. And as you can see, guys, we are scoring goals left, right and centre early start into the Premier League season. We've scored 6 in this one here, and that is a hell of a strike from 𝘼𝙗𝙪. Unbelievable stuff. Ruben Neves scores from the spot. He'd be a very nice player for us to pick up as well. The Portuguese central midfielder. Out to Todd Cantwell on this left-hand side. Cut back, ball comes across, and that's a good header from 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 into the far post. So it's 6-1. That means we get to bring the wheel back which again is on my other screen. So let's bring the wheel back. It is 6-1. We get to take another player. We took a left back after game number 1. Who can we take after game number 2? Looks like we are getting a goalkeeper here, guys, which is I'm not actually too bothered about. So we get to take Wolves' goalkeeper from their starting 11. So if we expand this one back out again into the full match setup, they had... See, this is what I was worried about. They had 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈 in goal. So that means we sign ourselves a new goalkeeper. I'm going to skip over the cup game against Bolton, and we'll be back for the game against Aston Villa. I'll see you in a sec, guys. Okay, guys, we are in between the 2 Premier League games, and as you can see on the screen, we have beaten Bolton 4-0. Now, whilst I don't necessarily want a Bolton player in the team, it is every professional game that we do play. As you can see, we fully rotated the team, but it's time for a Bolton player to become a Norwich City player. Massive jump from League One up into the Premier League, and to be honest, this is where I'm happy to take a right back or a right wing back, because they are not going to play over Max Aarons. We take their right back, who in this one was Brockbank, Harry Brockbank. He joins the club then, moved to my club for no money. Thank you, Harry. Welcome. You're now a Norwich player. Onto the Villa game in the Premier League. Right. Game number 3 in the Premier League. We are taking on Aston Villa at home. But what I will say, by beating Bolton, we've now earned ourselves an EFL Cup 3rd round tie against Manchester United. It's another opportunity to take some elite players from one of the biggest clubs in the country. And that is an absolutely fantastic thing to have. Obviously, we are taking on Villa today. Into the tactical meeting we go. And I will say... Have I completely forgot to register him? I have. I forgot to register 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, so he's not going to play in this one. But this is the team, again, much the same as what happened against Brighton and against Wolves. Can we do another result against another Midlands-based team? We've hit the instant result. We go to continue. What happens, guys? Do we get an Aston Villa player to join our ranks as well? Obviously, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with deadline day. Okay, no, we don't. We lose to Aston Villa. Billy Gilmore sent off early. Tyrone Mings scoring. Tyrone Mings would have been a nice addition, actually. Looks like we're relatively hard done by, but after the sending off, there's not much we can do here. So we do lose games. It is... Oh, Tyrone Mings scored both goals. Okay, on to the next one, which I think is going to start getting really tough. It is. It's Liverpool at home. We'll be back for that one in a sec. Here we go then. This is a huge one. Taking a player off of Liverpool would be ridiculous. Obviously, we are currently in 7th after our 2 victories and 1 loss to Aston Villa. But as I said, taking a player off of Liverpool in this instance would be ginormous. We've had our 2 victories so far. They're actually playing Brockbank at right back. Oh my God, what is happening here? Where's Max Aarons? He's injured. Okay, so the guy we actually took away from Bolton is starting this game. Oh no, it's gonna be against Mane. Well, this is all part of the fun, isn't it? All part of the fun. As I said, this is a funny video. It's not supposed to be taken seriously, but we submit the team. We take on Liverpool. We are at home, so maybe at home we can get a result against Liverpool, and the full-time score is 4-2 Liverpool. We did all right, to be fair, but Mane, Minamino and Curtis Jones too good, so unfortunately we lose to Liverpool. That was a real good opportunity to take a massive player off of I'm going to say a rival, but it's not really. So look at all the players we could have had. Alisson, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent, Fabinho. Look at their starting 11. It's just mad. If we could have taken one of those, that would have been fantastic. Shock. Brockbank had a very poor game there. Okay, Arsenal up next, guys. Hopefully we can take someone off of Arteta. Arsenal at the Emirates. This could be a very interesting one. They do find themselves down in 16th, but there are some very, very good players I'd love to take from Arsenal. Let's go into this one. Obviously, the assistant wants us to do some changes there. Brandon Williams actually back in at right back, which is fantastic. Obviously, what I will say, guys, whilst I do have the power of the in-game editor, the only thing I'm going to use it for is signing players and making sure that they are registered. Everything else that occurs in the game, fitness, injuries and stuff, we're just going to let it play out. We're just going to see what happens. I do find it interesting that we signed 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 from Wolves after beating Wolves, and my assistant still prefers Angus Gunn. So that's something interesting for everybody to notice, isn't it? I'd like someone in the central midfield. It feels like we're a little bit light in central midfield. Maybe in that striker position, it would be really, really nice. We're going to instant result this game against Arsenal, as we have done all the way through, guys. We need to pick up a victory, though. 2 wins to start the season was great, but then 2 losses back-to-back haven't been ideal. So, can we get a result here against Arsenal? 4-4. So, we didn't win. So unfortunately, that does mean that we don't get to take one of their players. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙤𝙪 scored in the 88th minute, but we scored in the 93rd minute to keep things 4-4. So unfortunately, 3rd game in a row, we don't get to take a player from our opposition. But we've got Manchester United in back-to-back games here. EFL Cup 3rd round, which I will show you after, and then obviously the Premier League game. So we need to start picking up some players, guys. This is not good. So we have our first of 2 trips to Old Trafford in the same week in the Carabao Cup. Obviously, we are away from home, but taking a player off of Manchester United, obviously we don't know what their team is going to be going into things. This is our expected lineup. Henderson, Dalot, Bailly, Lindelof, Telles, Berg. They signed Berg. Is that the dude, Patrick Berg? Is that the dude from Glimt? It is. He would be quite nice. Scott McTominay, Mason Greenwood would be massive as well. Jesse Lingard, Cavani. There are some players in this lineup, even their expected lineup. Whilst it's not their Premier League lineup, I would love to take. Mason Greenwood would be fantastic for us. There are so many that, like Dalot, I'd take. Bailly or Lindelof, I think improves us. Same, probably not with Telles actually. Berg would be nice. So there are some very interesting options in here, which is why I'm going as strong as I can. I'm naming my best team. Max Aarons is struggling with fitness, as is Dewey, but we need to try and get some players into this squad to hopefully improve us. So we instant result. Can we get something against Manchester United away at Old Trafford? Carabao Cup 3rd round. Come on, boys. Let's see if we can take a player from United. Oh, we lose on penalties. We lose on penalties. That is sickening. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 scores in the 79th minute to potentially to take it to penalties, and United win from the spot. Max Aarons gets injured again, which is really irritating for me, and Solis was the man who missed the penalty. But as I said, there are some interesting players in this starting 11 that we've missed out on. And now, ultimately, Max Aarons is injured again, so he's out for 4 weeks, which is really, really irritating. But that does mean that we have Manchester United coming up again in the Premier League. This is a little bit of a rough run here. I was hoping for a little bit better. Hopefully, we can take some players away from United in the league game. But if we didn't do it in the cup game, I'd be surprised if we did it in the league game, especially considering you'd imagine that they're going to wheel all the big guns out now. De Gea, Ronaldo's going to be back, that sort of thing. Looks like we are ready to play this one, though, so I will keep these in the same sort of section. We've got to make some changes. Gilmour does come back into the team, and we move things forward. I'm just trying to power through this season, to be perfectly honest, guys. So this is the 2nd game against Manchester United. They are currently 4th in the Premier League. We are currently in 8th. If we can get a result here, this would be huge. Who's in their expected lineup now? So Ronaldo's back, Bruno, Sancho, Van der Beek, Pogba, Varane, Maguire. Anyone out of this team massively improves us if we can somehow get ourselves 3 points. Let's instant result this one against United. 2nd time at Old Trafford in a week. Can we get the job done? This would be huge, guys. Taking a player from United would be massive. And we lose 2-0. Of course we bloody do. Of course we do. Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. I think that is it for the big games now. So we're going to go into these consecutive games. October and November, this is the time where we start to strengthen. If we can take maybe a player from all of these teams, we could be in a better state come when we take on Manchester City later on in the year. Maybe we could take a player from them. So be back for the Leicester game in just a sec. We've not been having things our own way completely in this spin to win challenge. Obviously, you can see we're down in 11th here. We are about to take on Leicester, which again is another team that have players that we would like to bring into our starting 11 and into our squad. Obviously, Norwich were expected to finish bottom of the league, so any players that we can bring in will be massive here. Leicester are up in 6th. We've lost a couple of games on the spin now. And we lose another one. Come on, guys. I know Leicester are a good team, but 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 scoring 3 in the final 10 minutes of a game is Oh, so tough. It is so tough. I genuinely thought we'd have a few more players in the bag by now, but that is 5 losses in a row. Obviously, some of those, Leicester, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, are a bit rough. That run is bad, though. West Ham up next. Things have been very ropey so far at the start of this season, but we are only 7 games in. There are still plenty more games to play. But what I will say is we need to start taking some players off of some teams. What we're going to do is, if you've not liked this video already, if you go and like the video right now, I reckon we'll beat West Ham. That's all I'm going to say. If you like the video right now, I reckon we'll beat West Ham. And if you didn't, then maybe it's your fault if we didn't beat West Ham. That's all I'm going to say. 13th versus 10th. We are at home in the Premier League. Do we get a result? Oh, finally, we get to take a player from somebody. Thank the Lord. We played really, really well in this game, and Solis gets the goal after 15 minutes. So let's bring in the wheel. Now we get to take a player, and we've not taken a player from a team for a little while. I don't want a goalkeeper. Oh, Max Addons does keep getting injured, so we get to take the West Ham right back, which in this particular game was 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, which is not too bad. Annoyingly, Declan Rice was playing centre back there, which would have been very interesting. So we're going to move 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 over to our club. He's a good little player as well, but I want better players than fullbacks, to be perfectly honest. So I need to register him. Obviously, I've enabled the registration at any point. So obviously we can go in and register Mr. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 for the next game. But at least we got a victory. We turned the tide a little bit. I was getting a little bit worried that this video wasn't going to actually have the wheel in it. And it feels like it needs to feature the wheel in some capacity. We've got Crystal Palace up next. Again, another team that we would like to take a couple players off of. I'm going to holiday until the next day, the next match. I'll see you guys in a second. We turn the tide with a victory against West Ham. Now we take on Crystal Palace, who are rock bottom of the Premier League in back-to-back away games. We take on Palace, then we take on Brentford. We need a result here. Thankfully, we got through. Max Addons still stays at right back. Obviously, 𝘼𝙗𝙁 on the bench, as is Jose Sá. So 2 of the players that we have taken thus far, not even getting into the starting 11. Now, I know this wasn't going to be the way straight away that we were just going to take every player and it was going to be a brand new player into the starting 11 every game, because I think that would have been unrealistic. But please, if we can beat Palace here, can we please get a attacking player? Oh, it's 1-1. Oh, it's 1-1. I would have loved 𝘼𝙗𝙁 or, you know, Wilf Zaha or anybody who played in this. Like, the way against the Premier League's bottom side, Gallagher would have been great. Wilfried Zaha, 𝘼𝙗𝙁, amazing would have been, but not to be. I think it is Brentford up next in the next fixture. It is. Away again. Ivan Toney, perhaps? Brentford are in 9th, we are in 13th, and they do have something that I don't feel that we have. We don't necessarily have that elite striker. Ivan Toney is set to be playing in this one. Christophe Ayer would be a nice addition at centre-back as well. But to get things done, we need to get the victory, which we've not done on a lot of occasions this season. We got the first 2 dubs back-to-back, and I was thinking, are the viewers going to think that this is ridiculous, that it's rigged and stuff like that? And then we went on a massive losing streak. We got a player off of West Ham, and there we go. Right, okay, we are victorious. We get 3 points against Brentford on the road, which is massive here. We only have 3 shots on target, and they all went in. Ivan Toney scored for Brentford. Please, 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 wheel. Please give me Ivan Toney. Okay, let's bring the wheel back into the picture so you guys can see. Let's click the wheel. And who do we get? Come on, striker, striker, striker. Nice me, Will. Nice me. No, not another right. I said this in the intro. I could end up with a squad full of right backs. And we end up with a squad full of right backs. Finn Stevens joins the club. Another right back. The 3rd right back that we've taken this year. Okay, next game. He played all right against us as well, so that means we move on to the next game, having got a couple of dubs. Chris Wood from Burnley, perhaps, maybe? I don't know. We are really running out of options. I'm just getting a team full of right backs. I really don't want a team full of right backs. Maybe I should rechange the title of the video. A team full of right backs wins the Premier League, question mark? Who knows? I'll see you in a sec, guys. Steve Hood versus Sean Dyche. It's a battle for the ages. We are 10th. They are 20th. We need a result here. We need to keep taking players off of our opposition. Chris Wood, interesting. J. Rodriguez, again, interesting. Cornet could be an interesting option. Dwight McNeil, maybe. I love Connor Roberts. I used to, when he was on loan from Swansea at Bristol Rovers, I thought Connor Roberts was fantastic. But we do have Max Aarons. We've also got Kufal. Brockbank is another player. We've had 4 right backs. The wheel is not nicing me. I am adamant the wheel is not nicing me here. If we can take away 3 points against Burnley, not only obviously the goal is to take wins and players off of our opposition, but the main thing was to draw 2-2. The main thing was to ultimately climb up the Premier League table with Norwich and see how we could get on with this method. Chris Wood and Cornet, again, attacking players, being decisive for our opposition. We've got Leeds up next. Leeds is massive at home. Taking a player, Bamford, would be fantastic. Obviously, Calvin Phillips in central midfield, again, would be fantastic. I've got 2 weeks to sim here. Fingers crossed we can get the better of Bielsa. In my opinion, all this needs is for us to take a couple good players from a couple different teams and we would be absolutely flying. Leeds is one of those who do have some sneaky elite level players. Phillips I'd love, Rafinha I'd love, Bamford I'd love. They've got some really good players. As I said, we need to start taking some players off of teams that aren't right backs. Right backs are killing me right now. Getting results in the Premier League is one thing, but when we do get a victory, taking another right back would kill me. It's another draw. We're actually doing okay in the Premier League. 4 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses, but it's not been good enough to get all the players that we wanted. Leeds ultimately would have played a decent lineup here. Junior Firpo would have been good. Calvin Phillips, Glitch, Rafinha, Rodrigo, they're all really good players, and ultimately we miss out on them yet again. 4 draws is not good enough, and now we've got Spurs. I mean, it could all change against Tottenham, you never know. Imagine if we somehow managed to pull out Harry Kane or Heung-min Son. Wouldn't that be good fun? So in actuality, we are 5 unbeaten and the season isn't going as bad as I probably thought. However, taking a player from Spurs would be amazing. We are on a 5-game unbeaten run. Can we somehow? Spurs are 12th. We're above them in the league. We should be getting a result here. Kufal comes in for his debut. And as I said, at the moment, we are just we're every fullback. We are every fullback in the world right now. Spurs, away, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I would love Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, someone. Yes! Okay, we beat Spurs. This is huge. Who was in their lineup? I don't want to see their formations. I want to see this one because I've just thought I wasn't necessarily taking people out of their starting lineup. I was potentially taking substitutes as well. So this is the one I need to see here. This was their starting lineup. So they've got some really good players here. I don't want the goalkeeper. I don't want Winks. Literally anybody else would be fantastic. A spin and getting us a striker would mean either Harry Kane or Heung-min Son, and I guess in theory I can take whichever one I want if there's 2 of them. So let's spin the wheel here. Any player apart from goalkeeper would be massive. It looks like we're landing on centre back, which is good as well. Now let's take a look at their 2 centre backs that they played in the game. So Nicolas Sula, Christian Romero or Eric Dyer. Oh, this is a tough one, guys. I don't know who I'd rather take. Nicolas Sula's coming in as a 4.5-star player, and Christian Romero is a 4-star player. So in theory, Sula is the one. He now becomes a Norwich City player, which ultimately makes us pretty good in defence now. We should be pretty solid. Let me just register Sula for the next game. So that you guys can see what we're doing here. Confirm that selection. I'm going to have to start unregistering players soon, I think. But if we go into our tactic and sort of quick pick the best 11 without restriction, this is kind of where we're looking now. So Jose Sarr, Kufal, Sula, Gibson, Cucurella. Okay, we're looking solid at the back. Nicolas Sula is a massive addition for us. And annoyingly, our best 2 players are no longer our own players. I would have loved I would have loved Kane. I would have loved Heung-min Son, but I'm actually quite happy with that. And this is why I left the transfer window open in the first summer transfer window, because I wanted the best opportunity to get anybody. We've got Everton at home now, another massive game before we take on Manchester City and then Chelsea. Oh, guys, I'm so happy we beat Tottenham. I am so happy we beat Tottenham. So it's Everton in the Premier League, 8 p.m. kickoffs on Wednesday, the 1st of December. We are flying in the league. We are up into 9th after a spell of good results. A striker from Everton would be fantastic. This is the team. Actually, no. Where is he? Nicholas Sula can come in for Grant Hanley. I'm sorry, bro. In you come. So this is the team then. Brandon Williams at right back. Gunn in goal. Brandon Williams at right back. Sula, Gibson, Cucurella. As you can see, we're okay. We're okay, but we are starting to get pretty heavy at the bottom end of the field. I would love us to sign some forwards from some of these teams that we are taking on. 9th versus 12th in the Premier League. We've quick simmed it again. And come on. Okay, we are ticking now. We are really cooking on gas. Absolutely pummeled Everton here. 4-1 against them. So that does mean we get to spin the wheel again. Now, they've not really gone all out for me to take some of their best players, annoyingly. Richarlison would be a good pick, despite being very inconsistent. I don't really know who else I'd potentially want out of here. So let's bring the wheel back. I thought Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be there. He's not. He's obviously injured. So the wheel comes back into play and we spin it and we end up with right midfield, right wing, or right forward, which was, if I believe, I thought it was Richarlison. It's 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙗. I don't know if he improves us, so we'll move him to the club anyway. And we will see what happens. But we've started to pick up Sula impresses on his Norwich debut. You love to see it. And we are getting much, much better. Some of the results in recent games have been very, very good. Now we have Manchester City away at the Etihad up next. As I said, the games are going to come thick and fast now in and around the sort of Christmas period. So fingers crossed we can pick up some results. Again, just taking a player off of Manchester City or Chelsea in one of these next two games would be massive. I need to see as well if 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is an improvement. Let me just get through. Here we go. Tactics. Let's see. Quick pick without restriction. The best 11. Does 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 come in? He does. Okay, so in which case that means I need to register him. So squad registration. Obviously, I can register players whenever I need to. And where is he? Am I being blind? 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. There we go. So I'm going to need to do something very soon because I'm almost at my squad maximum squad size to make sure that we have all the players in that we can have. But Manchester City away from home here, guys. This is going to be... Okay, so they've made an offer for Tim Krul. I've decided with the transfers, guys, if people come in to bid for our players, I probably will just accept it unless it's one of the players that we've signed from taking it from another team. So, Manchester City away from home. We've got an early kickoff as well. Hopefully we can take a player off of either Man City or Chelsea. We are in a very good run of form now. Watford beat absolutely annihilate Palace earlier on in the day, and we go into this one. They want us to do lots and lots of changes despite it being our best 11. Jose Sarr still injured, relatively disappointing since we've beaten Wolves in the first game of the season, second game of the season, sorry. Hasn't really played. Okay, Manchester City, this is a big one. Iwobi does come in to the team though, so that's a start. Another player who has improved us. I wasn't sure if he would, but he has done. I've got to give him a squad number 27, Alex, well done. You move forward. Manchester City away from home, this is going to be a big one. Somehow managing to get a result here would be huge. And it does not happen. It is Manchester City at the end of the day. So we drop down to 10th in the Premier League. Kabak sent off, but at that point, we were already 3-0 down. We've got Chelsea up next. It's another biggie. Massive game coming up here as we take on Chelsea at home. Obviously, any of these elite level teams, taking a player off of any of them is the goal of this, and I think potentially doing it at home is the way forward. Obviously, we've got players in the starting 11 now. Chelsea are obviously going to bring some interesting players to the team selection that we could hypothetically take away from them with a spin of the wheel with 3 points at Carrow Road. 3-2. We battled back. Lukaku did start and would have been phenomenal to take away, but we lose 3-2, unfortunately. That's so heartbreaking. But we've got Southampton up next, who are down in 14th. We should expect a good result against Southampton. And imagine if we could take someone like James Ward-Prowse away from Southampton. So we're getting into the Christmas period and we take on Southampton in a standalone game. I'm not really sure why we are just the one team playing on the Thursday, but we are taking on Southampton. Again, not really much has changed from the last couple of games that you have seen. We will hit that instant result as you would expect. And going into the Christmas period, we need to start taking players. Now, I think this is a good little run here. Southampton, Newcastle, Watford, again, all teams that you would expect us to beat, and we do. 𝘼𝙗𝙗 𝙗𝙪 in the 95th minute secures the dub against Southampton, so we get to take one of their players. Now, the main man I want is James Ward-Prowse. I would be ecstatic to take a central midfielder here. Let's bring the wheel back. And let's spin that bad boy. Obviously, we had some disappointing results against Man City and Chelsea, but that's not too bad. We get a striker here. Now, I don't know who they played. Armstrong and Ch-Addams, potentially. It is Armstrong and Ch-Addams. So let's have a look then. Ch-Addams there, valued at 21 to 23 million. Looks okay. How about Armstrong, who's playing alongside him? Looks very similar, but it looks like Ch-Addams is the better prospect. So we will sign Ch-Addams from Southampton. And let's move him to my current club. Okay, so we've got another striker in the books, and we've got, as I said, we've got a series now of games that I think are very, very winnable. Newcastle, Watford, Brighton, Wolves. Again, I think all of these are pretty winnable, and then we get into the business end of the season where maybe we can take a player off of one of the big boys. Let's move forward onto that next game. It's Newcastle. I wonder who they've signed. So then as we go into this game against Newcastle, I just wanted to take a little brief pause and see who they've signed, just so that we can see Brendan Loddy, Oscar, Diego Carlos and Kieran Trippier. They sign the same players every single time around, which unfortunately means this is less of an interesting game for me. Obviously, Alan St-Maximin would be fantastic. Lodi would be good. Oh, they've signed Maxi Gomez as well. Okay, I wonder how they've got him, but he didn't appear in their transfers section. This is the team, obviously relatively standard. You're sort of seeing the same players, the same names roll out now. I'm actually really happy that we got Nicolas Süle from Spurs. Yes, don't get me wrong, I would have wanted a striker, but maybe we can take Maxi Gomez off of Newcastle. We win 3-0. Dawel, Süle and 𝘼𝙗𝙗 𝙗𝙪 on the goals. So we bring the wheel back again. And let's see. So interestingly, so they have Maxi Gomez, St-Maximin I think would improve us. Joe Willock again, potentially one for the future. And Diego Carlos, Brendan Lodi. There are some interesting players here. I don't think we need any more fullbacks, Mr. Wheel. Anyone else would be very interesting. Go on, striker. Maxi Gomez. Go on. Yes. To be honest, the left midfield that was coming before it would have been Alan St-Maximin as well. So to be honest, I'm absolutely ecstatic that we've got ourselves a striker. Maxi Gomez in this game can be very hit and miss. He scored 6 goals and got 3 assists in 13 appearances for Newcastle since they paid £42 million for him. And now he becomes a Norwich City player. Wow. Okay, fantastic. We've got a striker. It's not the sort of level of striker that I was looking for, but I'm hoping that now we've got certain players involved and certain teams involved and this, that, and the other, that we can start picking up some elite level players by the time we get down here. If we could take a player off of Liverpool and Manchester United down here, I think that'd be great. But we have Watford up next. Could it be Sarr that we take, or do we end up with the cycling GK? Who knows? So it's Christmas in the save. It is Boxing Day and we are away at Watford. Fingers crossed another victory here would be great. I don't really know, to be honest, who I would want from Watford. Maybe Dennis Ismaila Sarr would be very, very good. We move things forward though. Maxi Gomez is ineligible. Cannot play for more than 2 teams in one season. Oh, do I remove that? do I remove that? Because he's obviously played a game for Valencia. We won't include him in this one. He's obviously played a game for Valencia before signing for Newcastle, and then he signed for Newcastle. So I'll play this game without him, and we win 4-1 very, very nicely there. So if we take 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, maybe that doesn't really matter. This is the Watford team that we are picking from. We are picking, of course, from their starting 11. Let's bring back the wheel. And then we can flick this over. If it comes in as striker, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 would be a great little addition. Can play in a couple of different spots, but it looks like it's going to be a centre back. Now, I don't really know who Watford have got at the back. Now, Craig Cathcart or Troost Ekong. I think it's probably going to be Troost Ekong. Because Craig Cathcart is 32 years of age. Now, I know it doesn't really matter beyond this season, but Troost Ekong is going to be the guy who is going to become a Norwich City player. Let me know down in the comments below if you would remove the restriction. Nicolas Süle, again, another 2 goals from him. He's currently at 4 goals in 16 appearances this season, which is absolutely crazy. Let me know if you would remove the restriction on Maxi Gomez. I think I'm going to, but let me know for future videos. Chat, I'm not streaming. Let me know in future videos comment section what you would do and what you would like me to do in this particular section. I think ultimately I am going to remove the restriction on Maxi Gomez just for this video, just so we can see what is going on. Where is he? Maxi Gomez ineligible. Can we remove all injuries? That's not what I want him. That's not what I want to remove. Contract details, is it in here? No, it's probably not, is it? No, it's not. Okay, well, even if I was going to, it doesn't look like I can't remove his ban or injury because he's not banned or injured. So despite signing Maxi Gomez from Newcastle, we unfortunately cannot play him. But we've got a game against Brighton now, which is who we kick things off against. Now, signing no offers for Sam Byram as another player in the squad who is very, very unhappy that he's not playing. They want another team. We're trying to get rid of him. He wants to go out on loan. We're trying to get rid of him. But we've got Brighton in the Premier League now. Another player from Brighton would be very, very interesting. Süle obviously comes back in for Grant Henley, and we will instant result this. Obviously, we've got a couple players. Karula playing as left midfield in this particular game. The assistant manager feeling a bit fruity with it. And we get another result against Brighton. By the way, guys, we are up into 7th in the Premier League, which is absolutely ridiculous. And we trounced Brighton yet again. 5-2. We go up into 6th. We are cooking on gas. So the wheel is back and we spin. We've not actually got a central midfielder yet, which would be very, very interesting. But again, it's not happening. We get another centre back. It's like they just want us to defend left, right and centre. And out of the 3, I've got Joel Veltman, who played centre back for them. I don't actually... he can play right back as well. We definitely don't need another right back. Lewis Dunk or Shane Duffy. Let's have a look at Shane Duffy. Little bit older side on the 29 years of age. So I think with how OP headers are this time around, I think it's going to have to be Lewis Dunk who moves to being a Norwich City player. As I said, guys, very, very nice run here that we've been on. If we go into the schedule, you can see I've really started to pick up some results, and we've got Wolves up next. I'll be back for that one in just a second. So I'm going to do 2 games quickly back to back. We are taking on Coventry City in the FA Cup. Obviously, I've now registered 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 to play up top. We are rotating the team. He's not really played for a few games, so let's get him into the squad and let's see if he can get some goals. Obviously, I need to give him an auto number. He is now the Norwich City number 9 is 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪. And what I will say, guys, is it's really frustrating about Maxi Gomez. Now, I'm hoping... Okay, we can take a player from Coventry City, which is by the by. I mean, I don't know who we'd want, why we'd want them, but we ended up taking a player from Bolton Wanderers after the first round of the Carabao Cup, and he ended up playing a game for us in the Premier League. So you never know with the wheel, do you? So we spin it. This is not, I was going to say, don't be the one that gives me a striker. So left mid, left forward, or left midfield, attacking left midfield, or anybody else. So it is this guy, Jordan Shipley, who's out of contract at the end of the season. He comes in from Coventry. for a free transfer. Thanks Coventry, just the sort of player I wanted. But at least 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 scored on his debut for us, and we move forward and keep that club mentality moving forward. We've got Aston Villa up next. Now, Aston Villa do have plenty of interesting people, but I just want to talk about things a little bit, guys. And if you are enjoying this sort of video, please do drop a like on it down below and tell me how you think I could improve this concept. Obviously, it is the first time I am doing this. Hopefully, this will come sort of somewhere in the middle of the video, so fingers crossed it actually does do all right. But please do let me know what you think of the concept, if you think there's any way that I could improve it. Obviously, we've had this issue with 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 here, but yeah, please do just let me know how you think I could do this a little bit better. Obviously, it is still going to have a few kinks in it at the start. Are you happy with me taking the bottom predicted team from each division and moving things forward? Please do let me know. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys think of this, and fingers crossed we can have a great successful season. I mean, we are currently 6th with Norwich in the Premier League, which is insane. To be perfectly honest. And as I said, we've got some big games coming up. We've got Arsenal, after Villa, then Liverpool. Again, if we could nab someone like Mo Salah, or you know, anyone of that sort of ilk, would be unbelievable stuff. We've got transfers coming in left, right, and centre. I'll deal with those after this this game against Villa. I just want to keep these in sort of little segments as much as I can, and when we've got back-to-back games, it'll kind of be a bit silly to not throw them in. So we get the victory against Coventry. West Ham get absolutely annihilated by Manchester United. And we go into this game against Aston Villa. Obviously, we did rotate absolutely everybody. Someone like Danny Ings would be very, very good. Obviously, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is in the squad now. So maybe we would have to balance things out. Maybe a central midfielder would be a nice little addition. A John McGinn, potentially, from Aston Villa could be quite nice. Obviously, we do the instant result, and it is 0-0. So Villa not giving us any players at all this year. It was 6th versus 7th in the Premier League there. So no massive surprise. I will go and deal with these transfers, guys, and we will be back. It's Arsenal up next. We are at home, though, so fingers crossed we can get a result and take one of their starting 11. The transfer window is running wild at the moment, and we are about to take on Arsenal. Now, they do have a lot of players that I would love to bring into the starting team. Sergio Rico. I'm going to actually just run you through the players that we have taken from other teams. Sergio Rico, obviously, Nicolas Sula, Cucurella. He's in, Alex Iwobi and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. So there's a lot of players now in our starting 11 that we have actually taken from other Premier League teams, thanks to the power of the wheel. Another one from Arsenal today would be very good. Sergio Rico comes in. He's now our number 1. Can we get a result against Arsenal? 6th versus 5th at Carrow Road. And no is the answer. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 has a goal disallowed, though. Martinelli and Gabriel get the job done for Arsenal. Again, imagine if we could just get one result against one of these guys. I feel someone... It's our first defeat in 6. I feel someone like that would be a massive scalp for us. We've got Brighton again in a fortnight's time now. Again, it's the 3rd time we're going to play Brighton this season. We've got them in the FA Cup. We could, in theory, go all the way there. But could we take yet another player away from Brighton? I feel so sorry for Brighton. So this is the first of 2 quick games in quick succession in this particular instance. We've got Norwich versus Brighton in the FA Cup. And obviously we've got a couple of players here. Josh Sargent is not going to make this one. So let's bring Lewis Dunk in on the bench. Obviously we've taken 2 players away from Brighton and Hove Albion already this season. And I kind of want to take more away before we take on Liverpool in just a few days in the Premier League. At home against Brighton in the FA Cup results in a Brighton victory. Okay, we've had 2 goals disallowed. Alex Iwobi and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and Dan Burn getting a goal for Brighton there. So we are out of both cup competitions, knocked out by Manchester United in one and Brighton in another. Run in the Premier League, relatively ropey, and we've hit a little bit of a patch here in terms of our form going into what is a huge game away at Anfield. As I've said, in any of these instances, if we were to take a player like Salah or Ronaldo or Bruno Fernandes, a Lukaku or anyone like that. It is a real game changer. I don't think it's going to happen away at Liverpool in this instance, but imagine if it did, like just completely revamping the team. As you can see, guys, this is how I'm playing this. I'm not doing anything. I'm not changing anything from day to day. We're just going in and we're taking these teams on one at a time, rapid fire. I'm recording this all in one morning so that you guys can sort of enjoy this and give me the feedback on it before we go into potentially more of these, guys. I need you guys to let me know if you enjoy this sort of content. It is something completely new, in my opinion. Obviously, this Liverpool team is just so stacked, isn't it? We go into this game. I'm not really expecting anything. Sergio Rico playing, obviously Sula, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and that is it just out of this one. Jose Sa on the bench as well. We've got a lot of the players that we have taken from certain teams here, but Liverpool away at Anfield, I don't think it's going to happen, but a result here would be absolutely monumental, and it's not going to be Mohamed Salah scores from the spot. Then Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain gets the job done. So we are not taking any Liverpool players this time around. And the results seem to be getting a little bit ropey again. We've got Leicester away, Manchester United at home, Palace. But we are getting towards the end of the season, guys. And now we are out of all the cup competitions. It is just time to focus on this these Premier League matches, and we've got another one coming up quickly. So this will be 3 games in quick succession in this little block of games, because I don't really want to change anything. I don't really want to do anything differently. We are taking on Leicester City here. Let's see what happens in my team selection. Okay, so it looks like we are going to make lots of changes because of obviously the games in quick succession here. Leicester City away. I've got a player unhappy with his loan spell. I'm sorry, dude. I've just got to crack on through this video for a little 3-game spell here where we've annoyingly not scored a goal so far. A 1-0 loss to Brighton in the FA Cup, a 2-0 loss to Liverpool at Anfield is, to be honest, not the end of the world. And now, potentially, we go into this game against Leicester, trying to get ourselves back into those European spots. Imagine doing this in a European competition. That, to be fair, that actually might be very interesting. We go into the team selection. This is a team, Timo Pukki coming in back up top. Che Adams is that inside forward on the right-hand side. I actually think this team is all right. We need a couple more midfielders, to be perfectly honest with you. And I wonder if we could get any of them off of Leicester. Youri Tielemans would be fantastic for this team. I'm not holding my breath here. Leicester win 4-0. Patson Daka doing the business in that initial spell. And Leicester go above us in the Premier League table. So, 5 games in a row that we've not scored in now. That is a little bit of a worry with Manchester United coming up next in 7 days' time. We'll be back in a sec. I'm not really looking forward to this one, considering we haven't scored a goal in 5 competitive fixtures now, as we take on the team at the top of the Premier League. Obviously, things are at Carrow Road, so things could change. But if we go into this instant result, I'm not really confident, guys. I think United are going to blow us out the water here, especially considering, as I said, we've not scored in 5 games. And a result would be insane. 86th minute. And we get the result against Manchester United, who are top of the league now. Let's have a look. De Gea, Lindelof, Varane, Bailly, Telles, Pogba, Renato Sanchez. I don't actually want Renato Sanchez because he won't be able to play for me. Greenwood, Bruno, Rashford, Ronaldo. Anyone from midfield onwards would be fantastic. Let's bring that wheel back and let's spin that bad boy. Let's see what we can get. Not another right back. Don't do me like that. Game. Oh, we have the plethora, the options, any of the attacking players, and we take the right back, which in this case was Victor Lindelof. At least I have the potential option of him playing at centre-back for me. But the amount of, I have to say, guys, the amount of defenders that we've signed this year has been absolutely ridiculous. Like, you know, if we just look through here, so we've signed Sergio Rico, Jose Sa, Brockbank, Lewis Dunk, Lindelof, Sula, Troost Ekong, Kufal, Cucurella. Like, give me some forwards, man. We beat Manchester United at home and we don't get any forwards. Oh, imagine if we could have just dropped Bruno into that, into this team. Cristiano, like anything like that would have been fantastic. It's not to be. We get Victor Lindelof. So it's time for Crystal Palace at Carrow Road. And can we follow up on Manchester United? Beating Manchester United, them dropping down behind Liverpool in the Premier League. We beat Manchester United, guys, and we got ourselves Lindelof. Now, we've almost got an entirely different backline. To be honest, I could name an entirely different backline from the one that we started with, because I could just chuck in Kufal there. We've got Trustekong, who's another one. We've got bloody Lewis Dunk. We've got an entirely different defensive lineup almost, with the exception of Max Aarons, and the front end of the pitch is just not what I hoped for. Now, Palace have some very, very good attacking players. Can we snatch one of them here? Obviously, we lost the game, I think, away at Crystal Palace, and a victory here would be massive, but it's not to be. It's a 0-0 draw. Again, guys, we're just not getting things done at the opposite end of the field. Like, we're very solid defensively, and I should think so because we've signed so many defenders. But we just can't get the job done in front of goal. The wheel has not been kind to us, and again, we've got some nice games coming up here, and we could in theory finish in these European places. For some reason we can't beat a team that are about to get relegated, and I just don't understand why. Maybe we could get somebody from West Ham. Time for a trip to London then, as we take on West Ham. It's 8th versus 9th in the Premier League. Chelsea have definitely managed to fix themselves here and are definitely moving back in the right direction. West Ham, I don't really know what to expect here. We've kind of dropped ourselves out of European contention because we cannot score goals. Now, Declan Rice would be the main player that I would want from West Ham, and he would really, really improve our midfield. But I just don't see it on the cards, especially at the moment. We are a team that cannot score goals. And I say hopefully, I'm not holding my breath. We fluked a result against Manchester United, in my opinion. We do beat West Ham. We fluked a result against Manchester United, which had the option for us to completely revolutionise our attack and our midfield, and it just didn't happen. We do beat West Ham here, so we want to see central midfield on this one. I've got 18 results out of this thus far, and we've just not had it. Come on, get there, get there, get there, get there, get there. I don't want another centre-back. Yes! Declan Rice, CDM, central midfield, or Cam. We can select any one of them from this West Ham starting 11, and it's going to be no surprise that Declan Rice is now going to come in and play in central midfield for us. Declan Rice. Oh, I've accidentally clicked the wrong one there. Declan Rice, welcome to Norwich City, my friend. And before I even forget, I'm 100% going to register Declan Rice. There he is. He goes in. He's homegrown as well. We are at our 25-man squad limit, so I'm going to, unfortunately, upset someone very, very soon. Central midfielder is a little bit frustrated that we've managed to bring in Declan Rice. Okay, that's a big result. We're not really scoring goals, and I don't really think Declan Rice is going to help that, but we've got another run of games here where we can really, really improve the squad. And ultimately improve our league position as well. It wasn't just about who we could bring in. It's also about how high we can finish up the league table with Norwich. So let's see what happens. Burnley up next. We're back to take on Burnley in the early kickoff of the day, and Declan Rice does come in to play alongside Billy Gilmore in that central midfield spot. We are looking like a much, much different side now, and I'm happy with how things have gone over the course of this video. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved a few more attackers, but ultimately I think this has been a little bit of a success of a journey. Norwich up in 7th. We've got a plethora of different talent into the team by using the power of the wheel. And we beat Burnley here very, very convincingly. I think getting the defensive options right has been very, very good. So let's expand this one, and then we can see who we can get from Burnley. Chris Wood down at 5.9. Dwight McNeil would actually probably be my preferred option, I think, out of all the players I could get. Looks like it is going to be a striker, though. So I think it's probably going to be Chris Wood, isn't it? Let's move that across. So it is striker. It does mean we can take Ashley Barnes. 32 years of age. I don't think is going to be the one. Chris Wood down at 5.9. Again, he's not the sort of player that I think will make a huge difference for us, but it is definitely a step in the right direction. If you've seen my Premier League simulation video where we did 100 simulations of the Premier League, Chris Wood picked up like 13 golden boots. He can put the ball in the back of the net, guys. So let's register Chris Wood. I can't believe I've just said that. Let's register Chris Wood. It means I'm going to have to unregister somebody, and I don't know who I'm going to upset here, but we're going to figure it out. This dude's already upset, so I think I may have to let him... I may have to really, really upset him. Chris Wood comes in. Apparently, Chris Wood is a homegrown player, despite having a stinker there. He is a homegrown player. If we go into our tactics now, we do a quick pick of the best 11. Maxi Gomez, annoyingly, is the one that I feel that we missed out on because of already playing for 2 clubs in 1 season. But the team is relatively well balanced. We've got good players in every position. We've got Sula at centre back, obviously. Now we've got Declan Rice. So I think this team is quite good. We've got, as I said, a couple of games now where we can really go on a little bit of a tear until we take on Manchester City at Carrow Road. So we are at home for that one, which would be massive. Brentford at home in the next game. The more I take players off, the more it sort of changes my mind each time we go. Obviously, I'd like Ivan Toney, but I feel like we've got a couple of strikers now. So let's see what happens in this one. I'm just going to talk through this because, as I mentioned, this is to me this is a very interesting concept, at least to get it all in one video as well, just so that you guys can give me that feedback. I'm going to ask for it a few times this video because I know the retention may sort of start to drop off, but let me know what you think. Honestly, do let me know what you think of this sort of video content, because I'm very intrigued to start bringing different stuff to the market. I mean, I had a chat with 𝘼𝙗𝙗 about this sort of stuff, and he gave me some very, very valuable advice. So shout out Luke if you are watching this one. Yeah, I enjoyed the chat with him. It was very valuable advice, and obviously now we're trying something different, so feedback on this is absolutely a must, guys. So I would appreciate any and all feedback that you can give on this sort of concept. Do you like it? Do you want to see more of it? Do you want to see how I do things a little bit more? Do you want to see more of the goals? Do you want it longer? Do you want it shorter? That's not what she said. But yeah, just give me that feedback, guys, as we go into this game here against Brentford at home. I'm going to look at the transfers at the end of the season, right? And you can see all the players that we brought in, and it's going to be so defender heavy. So defender heavy. So this is what we're running then. This is the team: Rico, Aaron, Sula, Lindelof, Cucurella, Gilmore, Rice, Rashica, 𝘼𝙗𝙗, and Josh Sargent is still leading the line for us here. No Chris Wood in sight, means I actually may have to, if we get Ivan Toney here, I may have to unregister Chris Wood. That's the sort of situation where we're talking here. We do beat Brentford 2-0, Gilmore and Solis on the score sheet. So that means we take some players. Now, interestingly, they've signed Kolasinac, which means if we were actually landing on him, he probably wouldn't be able to play for me either. So that is something that I didn't consider going into this. And left mid, left wing, left forward, I don't remember if they were playing anyone in that position, so we will just have a quick look. And no, they weren't. They were playing as fullback, so we get to spin the wheel again, which is quite nice. Bring the wheel back out. Anyone in these forward positions would be quite nice, but it looks like it's going to be another centre back. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, welcome to the team, my friend. Move to my club. Again, we do get better, we do, but it's just the wrong sort of players at the wrong end of the field for me. And now I'm going to have to upset someone. So 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 is going to be the one who doesn't make the squad anymore. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 is going to come into the team, having beaten Brentford at home now. So we are in 7th. We are just outside the European spots, guys. So Leeds up next. Be back for that one in a second. I've only just clocked it as we're going into this game. Leeds United are up in 4th, so I'm expecting a little bit of a hiding here. We've got 4th, and then we've got Man City with the team in 3rd in back-to-back, so you're going to get 2 in very quick succession in this particular little chunk of things. I am very surprised that Leeds are up in 4th, and don't ask me why. We've just set a record for 5 games without conceding a goal. That was the club record. And Ronaldo bailing Manchester United out. You've definitely seen that before, haven't we, guys? So 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, who we just got from Brentford, comes in to play alongside 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪. We are very good in defence. We are very good in defence. And obviously the addition of Declan Rice as well makes us very good in defence. It's just going forward. I don't know if we've got enough. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 again comes in. He gets number 38. We're giving squad numbers out left, right, and centre here. Can we get a result against Leeds United? This would be huge. If we could, it's 2-2, so it's not to be there. Rodrigo scoring in the 90th minute to rescue a point for Leeds United. Norwich City denied by late goal. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 with 2 goals. Fair play. Now we've got Manchester City. Now, I've said this all the way through the course of this video, guys. If we can somehow get a result against one of these big guys, you'd like to think that it would drastically improve our team. We beat Manchester United, and we got Lindelof. It's not really the sort of player that we were looking for, but he did sort of improve our team. But the amount of defenders, I'm going to show it at the end of the season, everyone that we have brought in, because obviously it will be in the transfer history. But honestly, the amount of defenders that we brought in is just silly. in all honesty, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪's just been praised by Pep Guardiola as we go into this one. 3rd versus 7th, Manchester City at Carrow Road. We're making all these changes. Wow, this is going to be an interesting lineup. Okay, here it is. Rico, Kufal, Sula, Lindelof, Williams, Norman, Rice, Sargent, Dowell, Iwobi, and Che Adams. Can we get the job done? We are at home, so it gives us a little bit of a lifeline potentially. Chris Wood coming in as squad number 43. And Chris Wood score against Man City. That would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Come on, big result here, guys. Big result, big result, big result. What happens in the instant result? 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, you monster! 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪. Oh, he scores another one. How many has he got for us this season since we got him from Spurs? 8 goals in 19 appearances for the big German centre-back. We are able to take a player from Manchester City. Now, this is going to be ridiculous. Now, this is where I ask, God, bless me with a good player. Just bless me with a good player, and we all move on. Right mid, right wing, right forward. Who is joining Norwich City? Bernardo Silva. Guys, this is why I'm doing this. For moments like this, we can go and get Bernardo Silva, move to my club. Thank you. Welcome to Norwich City, Bernardo. He's currently unregistered. Let's address that one right now. Registration. Let's take out one of these defenders, I think, maybe. Ben Gibson, you're never going to play. So, Bernardo Silva is going to be somewhere down here, isn't he? Bernardo Silva, there he is. Bernardo Silva is now registered as a Norwich City player for the next game. Guys, I cannot believe it. Now we've got Bernardo. I'm just going to show you the best 11. This is now the best 11. It's nothing like the Norwich lineup at the start of the year, and that is exactly the sort of progress that I was looking for. Bernardo Silva now comes in. He is our best player by a country mile. This lineup is going to be tasty going into the final few games of the season. See how high we can actually finish up now. Tottenham, Everton, Chelsea, Newcastle, Southampton and Watford. We should win a lot of these, so you should see a decent amount of the wheel as we manage to get results against Manchester United and Manchester City. Who'd have thought? I'll see you for the next game against Spurs. Imagine if we get Kane now. It's time to take on Tottenham. Now, ultimately, the victory against Tottenham earlier on in the season was one that I really thought drove us forward. Whilst we did beat Tottenham and we didn't take someone like Harry Kane or Heung-min Son, we did take 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 from them. And he's been an absolute revelation for us. since we've signed him. This is the new look side. Obviously, we've got Bernardo Silva in here as well now. I'm hoping his creativity, if it doesn't result in goals directly from him, I'm hoping it results in goals and opportunities for other people in the team. Obviously, he signed on a free transfer for the purposes of this video. He's not actually been playing very, very well for Manchester City, but I think he's exceptional in real life. If we could get another result against Spurs, another opportunity to try and get ourselves Harry Kane would be massive going into this final run of games, and I'm just intrigued to see we win again. Oh, come on, guys, come on. We beat Tottenham again. What do we think of Tottenham? I'm not going to play the same bite, but Dele Alli, Harry Kane didn't play. Nico Barella, I would want Nico Barella, but he's already played games for Spurs and he would have already played for Inter, so central midfielder's not good here. Goalkeeper, another one. Really? The wheel gives us a goalkeeper, and obviously it's going to be Hugo Lloris is going to come in. I'm just going to move him to the club. Like, this is so frustrating, the amount of goalkeepers that we are having come through here now, guys. Declan Rice is injured. No. Bernardo Silva scores on his debut. We've got 12 games now until we take on Everton, but we are on an unreal run towards the end of this season. As you can see, unbeaten since we beat Manchester United, and there's some good results in here. Now the team is getting that infinitely bit better. We will start going on until this game against Everton. Double over Tottenham. Who's surprised? Let me know down in the comments. I'm not, because Tottenham can be rubbish in this year's game. The business end of the season now, with just 5 games remaining. We are a little bit of adrift of the Champions League spots, and I think that would be quite optimistic for us to ultimately land in those Champions League spots. But a European competition, regardless of what it is, would be brilliant. I'd love to bridge this gap between ourselves and Arsenal. We take on Everton in this particular one right here. We're going to make some changes to the team based on what my assistant manager says. I'm loving the look of this Norwich City team here. So we go into it, we click the instant result away at Everton. It feels like if we're going to lose games, they're going to be away, and unfortunately our next 3 are all away from home, but we do get the victory against Everton. Massive. Billy Gilmore with 2 goals inside 10 minutes, and then Che Addams. So let's expand things here. This is the team. Richarlison would be interesting, I think. Dominic Calvert-Lewin at right midfield. Again, another interesting option. Let's spin the wheel, having beaten Everton at Goodison Park, to see who we get. Is it going to be Jordan Pickford, or is it going to be yet another defender? It's Jordan Pickford. Okay, so we may actually have a new goalkeeper now. The amount of goalkeepers and defenders, I will say, that we are getting in this is absolutely ridiculous. Let's move Jordan Pickford to the club. And let's have a look at this, right? Because we've got a ludicrous amount of goalkeepers now. If we go and quick pick our best 11... Who is it saying? It is saying Jordan Pickford is my best goalkeeper. So if we go into the registration, let's have a look at the goalkeepers that we've now got. Angus Gunn, unfortunately, you're not going to make it. I'm going to put in Lloris, and I'm going to take out McGovern. I'm going to put in Jordan Pickford, and then it can be up to my assistant then as to who we go for. Season 1 of this has been absolutely fantastic. We've got Chelsea, right, in 7 days' time. I just don't... The amount of defensive players we've got, and I understand that we are doing well. The amount of defensive players that we've got, this could have gone so differently if we signed some more attackers. I'll be back for Chelsea in a sec. We travel to Stamford Bridge now to take on Chelsea, and we are flying above them in the league table. We are 6 points clear of Chelsea. They are down in 8th. We are in 6th. We are 3 points now behind Arsenal. In that, we are now 3 points behind Leeds United in that 5th spot for the Europa League. We're 5 points behind Arsenal, who are currently in 4th. They are about to take on Liverpool. So if we can get a result here against Chelsea, that would be huge for our potential, let's accept that invitation for the under-18s, for our potential push into these Champions League spots. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. But we make the changes, and this is the team. Jordan Pickford, having just signed from Everton, having just beaten Everton, comes into the team. So it's Jordan Pickford, Max Aarons, Sula, Lindelof, Cucurella, Rice, Ayer playing as a box-to-box midfielder, which is interesting. Bernardo Silva, Iwobi, Solis, and Josh Sargent. I have to admit, I thought he would have been replaced by now, but he really hasn't. He's still here, he's still scoring, and I thought we'd get an elite level striker, but we have the opportunity to potentially get one here. If Lukaku is playing, can we take 3 points away from Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? Yes, we do. Anthony Martial has a goal ruled out for them, and Josh Sargent scores again inside 2 minutes. Right, who's here? I don't want Anthony Martial. Now, the reason is because he's obviously already played games for Manchester United, I would assume, this season. So we won't actually be able to play him at all. If he has played games for United this year, he has. And he's played games for Chelsea. So Anthony Martial is someone we don't want. There are options in here that we do want, but let's spin the wheel. I did notice that Pulisic is also listed as right back in this particular game, or right wing back. So actually signing him would be great. Christian Pulisic. He's actually played right wing back in this game. I'm not cheesing it at all. Right back or right wing back. I'm pretty sure I saw him here. Christian Pulisic was the right wing back for this game. He's going to come in. He's fast. He's agile. And I'm looking forward to him being a Norwich City player. This is exactly the sort of thing we were looking for, guys. He comes in, he's unregistered. Let's figure that out right now. Where is he? I've definitely gone past him. Christian Pulisic there. So we need to unregister somebody. And I'm not really sure who I upset here now. Jordan Shipley. I don't think you've played for a long time now. And let's put in Christian Pulisic. Obviously, having the 25-man squad to deal with is very, very vital. Pickford keeps clean sheet on his debut. We've got a few games remaining now, just to tighten this squad up for the last sort of run in. Newcastle, Southampton and Watford. Guys, I am absolutely buzzing with how this has turned out. We are up into 5th. Norwich City up into 5th. I know it's not their squad. It's nowhere near their squad now. But 19 victories in the Premier League. We've had a couple in the Cups as well, but 19 victories in the Premier League. We are 3 points behind Arsenal with 3 games to go. Can we get this into Champions League football? I would be ecstatic if that were to happen. We've got Newcastle up next. St. Maximin would be fantastic. I'm intrigued to see what their team looks like. I'll be back for that one very, very soon. The Champions League charge is very much ongoing. Arsenal lose in their game to Leicester City, and we take on Newcastle. We've got Newcastle, Southampton, and then Watford as our final games of the season. You'd like to think that in those 3 games we would pick up 9 points. We also have to worry about Leeds United, who do have a game in hand as well, which I assume is going to be on the Monday. It's against Manchester City though, so that is no easy fixture. We go into this one against Newcastle. This is the team again, much the same as you saw in the last game. Declan Rice, Billy Gilmore as a central 2, definitely doing some good work here. Christian Pulisic needs a number 47 for the young American, and let's see. Can we get a result against Newcastle? I'm so happy with the position that we're in. 3-1. Sula, Billy Gilmore gets 2. I will say Sula's just got the player of the month for April as well. We close that gap. So let's have a look then. Akanji would have been fantastic, but obviously we can't secure him because he's already played games. So for me, Joe Willock or St. Maximin are the options that I would love to take. Knowing this game, it will give me Kieran Trippier or a right back or another goalkeeper. But we'll spin the wheel here and see. I told you. Oh, I bloody told you. It's another right back, Kieran Trippier. Well, at least he's not actually... I don't think he would have played for Atletico this season, maybe. So maybe he could be an option. He did play for Atletico. Right, okay. So another player, Kieran Trippier, another player who we cannot register because he's already played. Cannot be registered. Kieran Trippier. The amount of, honestly, the amount of right backs and goalkeepers, the way this is run. Man City booked their Champions League ticket, so I assume they've done the business. We've got Southampton now. Penultimate game of the season against Southampton. The James Ward-Prowse would be fantastic. Or knowing the way the wheel's spinning, it'll be another goalkeeper or another right back if we do pull up the victory and get the 3 points. Penultimate game of the season, taking on Southampton at Carrow Road. I'm expecting this one, right, to be a very comprehensive cut and dry victory. Jordan Pickford does have a slight knock, but will still play regardless. Josh Sargent still continues to play up top. Christian Pulisic on the wings now with Bernardo Silva. Imagine if we'd have had some of these players earlier on in the season, but it wasn't to be. Now we have Southampton. I didn't register Kieran Trippier. He wouldn't have been able to play, guys. So we go into Southampton. We beat Southampton. Billy Gilmore scoring another 2. Josh Sargent scoring the winner. James Ward-Prowse getting on the score sheet now. James Ward-Prowse. Now that would be the icing on the cake for this season. He was playing central midfield here. I'm not really sure. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 maybe would be an option, but there's not really anybody else here apart from James Ward-Prowse that is tickling my fancy. We need... You are having me on. I have to show you this, guys. So it keeps the results of everybody. The amount of right backs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right backs via the wheel in out of our victories. So 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩, I don't know how this is going to work because he is a Southampton player. Okay, well, we'll move him to our club. He's valued at quite a high level, which is nice. we get a really good player. I wanted JWP. It didn't happen, guys. It did not happen. Southgate's at the stadium. We've just gone into the top 4. I've only just realised. Norwich potentially qualifying for the Champions League. Arsenal do have a game in hand, which they will play. But if I feel it's all in our hands. If we win, it's on goal difference. Okay. Who have Arsenal got in the last 2 games of the season? Come on, Arteta. Who have you got? Manchester United and Crystal Palace. So you'd imagine they're going to beat Crystal Palace, but are they going to beat Manchester United? I've got to keep you guys on the line here. Just whilst we find out what's happened in these results. Man City beat Chelsea in the FA Cup. Obviously, we beaten Southampton and... Guys, Arsenal beat Manchester United, at Old Trafford. 37 games played. We are currently sat on 70 points. 21 victories that we are currently sat at. I'm just going to register the youngster that we just picked up from Harry Brockbank. Can come out 100%. Where is he gone? I'm being so blind here, guys. Apologies for this. There he is. Tino Livramento. Let's put him in and register him for the final game of the Premier League season. It's not in our hands. We have the opportunity to potentially win a Champions League spot. We've got to beat Watford and hope that Crystal Palace, who haven't let us have a player, we've drawn twice against Crystal Palace. We have to hope that Crystal Palace do us a favour and get some points off of Arsenal. We are at home against Watford. This Norwich team now, towards the end of the season, has turned into a bit of a juggernaut. I would love to do another season with this. I may do another season of this with this Norwich team. Now we've got them in an unbelievable position, but the potential opportunity to win a Champions League place with Norwich is crazy. Obviously, we are taking on Watford here. It looks like Watford have been relegated. Billy Gilmore is suspended. Let's have a look at the Premier League. Watford are already relegated. Crystal Palace, though, fighting to stay up. So you never know what's going to happen on this final day of the Premier League season. We have secured Europa League football regardless. We have secured Europa League football, and it just comes down to Norwich or Arsenal in this final Premier League game. This is going to be the team that we are going to put out. Jordan Pickford, Max Aaron-Sula, Lindelof, Cucurella, Ayer, Rice, Silva, Iwobi, Solis, Che Adams. Instant result. Are we into the Champions League? Are we into the Champions League? If we win, we take a player off and Watford regardless. It doesn't really matter. We are all about if we are in the Champions League. We win 4-0. We do go into the Champions League. Arsenal draw 1-1 with Crystal Palace. We get to take a player from Watford for the final squad, and if it's 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, that would be a fantastic way to wrap things up. Let's spin it again. It's probably going to be a goalkeeper, isn't it? Let's not beat around the bush. It's either going to be a goalkeeper or a bloody... it's either going to be a goalkeeper or a right back, but it's not. It's a left midfielder in this particular instance. Were they playing one? Yes, they were. It was 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. Fantastic. Welcome to the club, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. Fantastic. So that is the final game of the season. And ultimately, guys, we have qualified for the Champions League. Arsenal bottled it. 22 victories, 7 draws, 9 losses throughout the course of the season. Obviously, I will show you the final transfers in a second. So these are the transfers that we had all the way through, guys. So obviously we started here, so we signed a defender, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 from Brighton. We beat Wolves. We take Jose Sarr. We beat Bolton in the cup. We take Kufal, Finn Stevens, another player like Nicolas Sula, Alex Iwobi, Che Adams, Maxi Gomez, who couldn't play for us, Troost Ekong, Lewis Dunk, Sergio Rico, Jordan Shipley, Lindelof, Declan Rice, Chris Wood, 𝘼𝙗𝙗, Bernardo Silva, Hugo Lloris, Jordan Pickford, Christian Pulisic, Kieran Trippier, Livramento, and then 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 complete the takings from all of the other clubs that we faced this season. We're going to quick pick without restriction our best 11, and this is it. At the end of the season, this would be the team that we would take into season number 2 if we were to do this, or if you want to see me do this with a different club. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the Premier League. It doesn't necessarily have to be outside of the Premier League. Let me know down in the comments, but this is the final 11 that we would have. Jordan Pickford, Kieran Trippier, Sula, Lindelof, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, Rice, Bernardo Silva, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, Alex Iwobi, Christian Pulisic, and Maxi Gomez is the new Norwich starting 11. And then we've got depth on the bench: Lloris, Max Aarons, Hugo, Christoph Ajer, Rashica, Kufal, Che Adams, Lewis Dunk, Dowell, Livramento, Cantwell, Chris Wood. Look how big the bloody squad is, guys. I'm still scrolling. We've got goalkeepers for days. But this is it. This is where we're finishing it. And we finished 4th in the Premier League using the wheel to build our team. And I've really enjoyed this, guys. So I hope you have done. If you have done, please do drop a like on the video down below. Let me know in the comments as well who you would like to see me do this with next with the power and using the wheel as my mercy. But until next time, if you have enjoyed it, you've done the like, drop a subscription. This is a brand new concept for me. Drop a subscribe on the channel for something new in the community. And until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another one very soon.